So Bruce, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah.
The Reserve Bank surprised the market today by cutting the official cash rate. Why do you think the Governor did that? What was he trying to achieve?
Well, I think it was a very deliberate action to surprise the market, and why? Because he knows that a surprise will get a bigger market reaction, and the market reaction he's been looking for is to get the currency down. He's really desperate to get that down. That is the key for him to rebalance the things he needs to get inflation to the level that's within his band.
So why is the currency so important to him?
Because that affects the prices, or just two things. First of all, it's about dealing with external balances between your imports and exports, and certainly with our dairy price having come down so far, the impact to our exports, there is a risk that there gets to be a real imbalance in our current account, and so they would really like the currency to be an offset to the dairy price fall. But then secondly, a valued exchange rate depresses local prices, so it's one of the things that's keeping inflation below the bottom end of its band.
So what's this going to do for the housing market?
Oh, my personal view is the housing market is as strong across New Zealand as we've seen it for a very, very long time, and prices, there's anecdotal stories everywhere which are not yet in the data, and so the market is incredibly strong right throughout New Zealand at the moment, and I think this is going to fuel that even more. So the stock of houses on the market is really low, the demand is high, there is only one thing that can give, and that's the price, and that's what's happening.
Yeah, and the cooperative bank was first out of the blocks today in terms of cutting its floating rate. What was your logic behind that move?
Well, our logic was to do the right thing by our customers, which was we believe there was no reason not to pass on that 25 basis point cut to our customers. We deliberately didn't set out to be first, we just actually went through the process that we normally do, and it just so happened that others were slow rather than we were quick, I think. So it's just an outcome of our process here.
Do you think
we are small and nimble though, so we can, when we're surprised, we're able to get the people together quite quickly and make a good decision without having to go through a bureaucratic process which might take days.
And do you think that all the lenders will pass on the 25 basis point cut?
Well, at the time we're talking right now, none of them have moved yet, and the longer that they don't, I think, increases the chances that they won't pass on the full 25 basis point. But look, I can't answer for them, but there certainly has been some pressure in bank margins more broadly, and who knows, some may make a case not to pass on the 25 basis points.
And in terms of future interest rates, the Reserve Bank today alluded to maybe 2 more cuts depending on what happens. What do you think mortgage advisors should be telling clients about interest rates now?
Well, my view is, forget about even what the Reserve Bank's saying. I mean, the world has changed fundamentally, and we're having to deal with a whole set of circumstances that none of us have ever lived through before. So we've got to be careful not to overstate our confidence in being able to predict the future. But one thing is very, very clear is that interest rates are staying lower for longer than really anyone envisaged, and has envisaged for quite some time. So it's a lower for longer scenario, and under that, it still comes down to, well, what is the right thing for an individual borrower? And again, in my view, customers should be seeking to use that to their benefit by paying off their debt quicker. Don't leave yourself in a position where you haven't benefited from this amazing opportunity, such that, if and when circumstances do change, and they will change, but none of us can say when, that you're not caught by that.
Exactly.
There's no excuse to get caught.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your time, Bruce. That's great.
Cheers.